Have you ever felt that you are just not good enough? You try, you put in the effort, but somehow everyone else always seems to be better, more confident, and more successful than you. You watch them walk through the crowd, speaking naturally, daring to try, daring to fail, while you just stand there, hesitating and afraid. If you have ever felt that way, then today's story is meant for you. It is the story of a young man who seemed completely useless, always looked down upon, always held back by fear. Yet he discovered the secret weapon that every successful person has. A simple power that can change an entire life. Believing in yourself. And if you stay with me until the end, maybe you will realize that what you have been missing all this time is not talent, but the courage to believe that you are worthy. In a small riverside town, there lived a salt merchant with his wife and 2 sons. The younger son was quick-witted and spoke with confidence, while the older one, Liam, was shy, quiet, and always afraid of making mistakes. Since he was a child, Liam had learned to lower his head when someone spoke to him, and to stay silent when people criticized him. His father loved him, but could not hide his disappointment. He often said, "My son, if you go through life afraid to speak or afraid to be wrong, you will never achieve anything." Those words slowly became scars. Liam began to believe he truly was not good enough. He feared being judged, feared failure, and withdrew into himself more and more. Sometimes people are not weak because they lack ability. They are weak because they believe in the words that make them afraid. And Liam was exactly that. A young man trapped in a cage built by his own fear. But he did not know that the cage was about to break, because life was about to force him to face the most terrifying thing of all, himself. As time went by, Liam grew older, but the fear inside him remained exactly the same. He spoke so little that many people truly believed he was incapable. And what hurt Liam the most was the look of disappointment in his father's eyes. One day, his father said, "It is time for you to help me take care of the salt shop." When Liam heard that, his heart began to tremble. He was afraid of making mistakes, afraid of being scolded, afraid of ruining everything. But he could not refuse, so he nodded silently. During the first few days, he tried his very best, but the harder he tried, the more mistakes he made. Whenever a customer asked for a price, he stammered and could barely finish a sentence. Some people laughed at him, while others walked away thinking he was foolish. His father watched all of this and grew more and more furious. "My son, you must be strong. Are you planning to live your whole life in fear?" But instead of helping him improve, those words only made Liam even more afraid, even more insecure. Then the fateful day arrived. That afternoon, his father went out, leaving Liam in charge of the store. Around noon, 3 strange men came by. They said his father had sent them to collect the salt for delivery to customers in the city. Liam sensed that something was not right, but fear kept him from asking questions. In just a short moment, they had loaded all the salt bags onto their wagon and left. By evening, his father returned. When he saw the empty store, his face turned pale with anger. "What have you done?" he shouted. Liam stuttered as he tried to explain, but the more he spoke, the worse it sounded. His father yelled, "You are useless. You have destroyed everything I have built. Get out and never come back." Those words felt like hundreds of knives stabbing into his heart. Liam stood frozen, tears falling silently down his face. He walked away into the night, the sound of the rain mixing with his broken sobs. All along the way, his father's words echoed endlessly in his head. "You are useless." He believed it, truly believed that he was worthless. When he reached the riverbank, where the dark water flowed quietly, Liam stood there for a long time. The moonlight reflected his pale face. Maybe if I disappear, he thought, everyone will finally be free of me. He closed his eyes and took one step toward the edge of the water. But at that very moment, a strong hand grabbed his arm and pulled him back. A rough but gentle voice said, "Do not do something foolish, my boy. Your life is worth much more than you think." Liam turned around and saw an old man with silver hair and kind, deep eyes. Liam burst into tears. "Why did you save me? I have no reason to live anymore. I failed. I am stupid, and even my father hates me." The old man was silent for a while, then spoke softly. "Life was never meant to be perfect. It was meant to teach us how to stand back up after every fall. As long as you are still breathing, it means you still have the chance to change." Those words stunned Liam. He looked at the old man, feeling something stir inside, a mix of shame and hope. And at that very moment, he did not yet know that he had just stepped across the threshold of a new journey. A journey to rediscover his confidence and his true worth. After saving Liam from the riverbank, the old man looked at him with eyes that were both firm and kind. "If you truly want to change," he said, "come to my home. I will show you that you are much stronger than you think." Liam nodded. He still did not have faith in himself, but something inside him stirred a tiny spark he did not want to let go out. When they arrived, the old man said, "I will give you 3 days. If you can do these 3 things, you will finally understand what you have been searching for your whole life." On the first day, the old man instructed, "Today, talk to 10 strangers. Just ask them about their lives." Liam broke into a sweat at the thought, but he did it anyway. At first, he spoke so quietly that no one even noticed him. Some people even turned away. But then he tried one more time, and then again. By the end of the day, something incredible happened. He was no longer afraid to speak. He even smiled when starting a conversation. On the second day, the old man said, "Teach 10 children why water is important." Liam panicked. "But I am not a teacher." The old man smiled. "You do not have to be good at it. You just need to share what you know." With trembling hands, Liam held up a glass of water and said, "Drinking water keeps our bodies healthy and helps us live every day." The children listened intently, and when he finished, they all clapped their hands. For the first time in his life, Liam felt a weight lift from his heart. He realized confidence does not come from knowing everything, but from daring to do the things that scare you. On the third day, the old man said, "Now, go back and apologize to your father." Liam froze. "I cannot. He will never forgive me." The old man replied, "If you cannot face it, you will remain a prisoner of that fear forever." Liam stood in silence for a long time. Then he turned and began to walk. When he finally stood before his father, he bowed his head and said, "Father, I am sorry. I made mistakes, but I want to start again." His father looked at him for a long moment. The sternness in his eyes slowly softened. "I only needed to hear you say that. My son, I will give you another chance." In that moment, Liam realized he had not only been forgiven, but had also conquered the greatest enemy of his life, his fear. A few days later, Liam returned to see the old man. His heart was full of gratitude, yet also overflowing with curiosity. He asked, "Sir, I have done everything you told me to do, but please, tell me what is the real secret of confidence?" The old man smiled gently, his eyes shining as if he had been waiting for that very question. "My boy," he said, "you have already discovered it yourself. Your greatest enemy is not shyness, it is fear." Liam looked surprised. The old man continued, "When you are afraid, you lose the ability to see your own worth. But when you dare to face your fear, it immediately becomes smaller. People see you the same way you see yourself. If you believe you are weak, they will think the same. But if you believe you can, no one can make you doubt that. Those words shone into Liam's mind like sunlight. He realized that all those years, he had never lacked ability, he had only lacked faith in himself. He bowed his head, tears streaming down his face. "I understand now, sir. I will no longer let fear control my life." The old man nodded and smiled. "Good. Remember, this confidence is not the absence of fear, it is the courage to keep walking even when fear is still there. The more you move forward, the stronger you will become." From that day on, Liam was no longer the timid boy he once was. He spoke more, listened more, and worked with the belief that he could. He did not need to be perfect, he only needed to be someone who dared to believe in himself. And then, something truly magical began. His life started to change. Many years later, Liam was no longer the timid young man he once was. He had become a respected merchant, confident, calm, and wise. The father who once scolded him now looked at his son with quiet pride. Standing by the same riverside that had almost taken his life, Liam smiled and said, "I understand now, father. I do not need to be perfect. I just need to believe that I can." And indeed, confidence is not something we are born with. It is forged every time we dare to step through our fear. No one is ever truly ready for everything. But it is only when you begin that you realize how strong you really are. I believe each of us has a Liam inside, a fragile part that doubts itself, afraid to speak, afraid to make mistakes. But if today you choose to take action, even just one small step, to say what you truly think, or to try something you have always avoided, then you have already moved closer to the best version of yourself. Do not wait for confidence to appear before you start. Start first, and confidence will follow. If you believe in that, leave a comment saying, "I believe," to remind yourself that I can too.